Lyle's been doing me an amazing favor. He's reconstructing my 1970 pink numbers matching RT Charger. It's gone from basically a bare shell to a car that is stunning. And here we are, it's almost finished. Lyle! When Blair saw the pink Charger, he said, you should ask Lyle if he wouldn't put it together for you, because Lyle loves Mopars and he loves rare cars.
My name's Lyle Dingledine. I just restore cars, and this is my show garage for the stuff that's all finished.
His shop is cleaner than the floor where I live. Anyway, that's why Lyle's putting the car together, and I am happy he's doing it. This is like one of the holy grail Mopars. It reaches a certain level where the car becomes a piece of art. So you're not really working with a car that's going to be driven. You're reconstructing a piece of art. Everybody wants one. It's super rare, and it's going to be in amazing condition when it's done. This was the only year, 1970, that you could get a pink car from Chrysler. They only made 99 pink Chargers in 1970 out of 50,000. So to run that down to the base number, for every 1,000 Chargers built, 2 were pink. That was it. And this is a 440 RT, numbers match, black vinyl top, black and charcoal upholstery, air conditioning, tinted glass. I wish it was a 4-speed, but if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. So we're still walking. But anyway, Lyle, out of the kindness of his heart and for a lot of money, has agreed to put this thing back together the way it came. Backstory of this car is a buddy of mine at one time ended up with 6 pink Chargers. One was this one, basically a pink shell sitting on a rotisserie, and the other one was basically a pile of parts. He made me an offer. I couldn't refuse. I ended up with both of them. Right, so I mean, this isn't polished because I don't even think Chrysler painted them under the vinyl.
No, they were just
primered.
Right?
So this is going to go back right the way as it rolled out of the factory. I mean, it had a lot of options.
Yeah.
You got the tag, right?
Yeah, I got the tag. It's right here.
Right, there's the original tag, painted pink. Build sheet. So basically what we have here is a documented car. And in the world of Mopars, that piece of paper and that tag determines the value of the car as well as the quality of the restoration. I paid more for the car in pieces than I've ever paid for another car. It's just a super rare, probably one of one. All of those pink Chargers, based on the options, were all probably one of one.
So these are the check marks that go across around the vinyl
roof,
we
need new ones of those, or they got to get them rechrome.
Yeah, they got to be
Do you know somebody that's good?
Yeah, probably in Calgary there's that chrome shop there.
Yeah, because I mean, this car, like, basically, if this car gets sold, it's got to look like it came out of the Chrysler factory, except about 3 steps higher up the quality level, because back then they just churned them out. Unfortunately, for people building cars like this, since COVID, the cost of restoring these vehicles has basically doubled, right? You cannot build a showroom car for 100 grand these days. It's not possible.
So this is what I wanted to get Blair to come, because this should be polished, right?
Okay,
Before we start much, right?
Yep. This thing is sick, eh?
Yeah. And this is usually what happens is it gets painted underneath here, and then they mask it all off to paint the outside.
And then
it gets that little mist underneath there or whatever, just because it didn't get masked off properly or something, right? But it's pretty nice.
Numbers are there. Oh, right in the middle, 230603. I mean, how many do you think would be left out of 28?
Wow. And a lot of people, they didn't like pink cars either, right? So a lot of them ended up getting painted black. Most pink cars got painted black, and then it was just luckily.
I mean, have you ever seen a factory 70 pink car? Charger?
Not a Charger, no.
Bringing something this rare back has been a pretty cool trip. Couldn't have done it without Lyle. Thanks again, Lyle. That was amazing.
Oh, yes. So I had to do the baffles, the top inners, across the top of the firewall, header. I'm gonna have to, we're probably gonna have to take the hood off, and I got a spray in here.
All the chrome is all polished.
Well, that's nice. Wow, it looks really good too. They did a nice job on
that. Slowly coming together. I've been working on it for a couple of weeks. We got the headliner and vinyl top going on hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Chrome's kind of in place just to mark it up for the vinyl top. Still shelves and shelves of parts. Here's all the classic industry stuff that Mike received there a couple of weeks ago and he sent up to me. Bunch more parts. Bunch of stainless, all polished up, ready to go. A little bit of stuff done on the interior. Gas pedal assembly and brake, e-brake. So once the headliner's done and stuff, then we'll start a little bit more in here. I've got some parts of the powder coaters getting done right now. But we had the motor between Christmas and New Year's at a guy's place outside of Edmonton. He put it on the dyno and broke it in for us and dynoed it and stuff and gave Mike all the paperwork, and so it's good to go. There's the grill and front bumper. They look so sweet. Coming together. It's been a fun project so far, so hopefully everybody enjoys this. Say hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike.
It's looking great. Got the vinyl top done today. Just changed the looks of this car. Unbelievable with the black on the pink now. Makes the pink look so much darker. Next, headliner and carpet. That'll be next week's mission. I got all the suspension done and in and detailed, and it looks pretty nice. Still waiting on a transmission. Motor sitting in there. Gas tank and all the lines are in. Should probably have it on its wheels hopefully tomorrow, which is a big step. Rims and tires ready to go. It's been a long time coming for this baby. She is back on her own wheels. Coming together nicely. Monday the guy's coming to do the headliner, so I'll be able to start on the interior after that. Grill and bumper all on. Front marker lights and lower valence is done. Did the headliner and the carpet. Sun visors, mirror. All the seatbelt hooks and stuff are all in there. Carpet's all in. Gotta cut a few more holes for shifter linkages and stuff. But now I can kind of start under the dash. If you look in there, you can see the spare tires mounted in there. All the chrome trim is all snapped on. Everything's put on properly. And start working on the tail panel is the next mission. And then the one dreaded thing I've been holding off on is doing this air conditioning box and heater box to put in, but I will get to it. That front end is just killer.
Here we go. What do we have today? Oh my God. Look at that. That is sick. That is sickness. That one I think we're gonna have to hang on the wall, but when we go to Barrett Jackson or meet him with the car, we'll have this in front of it. All right, just about at Lyle's house. It's gonna be good to see the Charger and hear it run for the first time. Today, I am in beautiful downtown Red Deer. Lyle's been doing me an amazing favor, and today he's gonna fire it up for me. It's almost done. One lone little Chevy surrounded by Mopar madness. Gee whiz. A lot of people that watch the show know I suffer from ADD. Lyle, on the other hand, suffers from ATD, attention to detail. Lyle!
How you
You
doing?
gotta clean and rag, because you know I'm never gonna clean.
It's a fun challenge to try to restore these cars back to where they were from factory.
Look at this baby.
Yeah, come and check it out.
I am. It's the color, like wow. Who'd have done it but Chrysler, eh? I am seeing automotive magic. The car is a piece of rolling artwork. From the roof, from the tires, the rims, just everything is right the way it would have been in 1970.
It was kind of nice to do a reveal. He didn't really realize that it was this far along. He thought it was, maybe running, but he didn't realize that it was probably 98% done.
It is a pretty stunning car, eh? It looks like it's going 150 miles an hour.
Yeah, well, just putting the black stripes on it the other day just changed the whole look of the car.
I didn't know if I'd like them, but they're pretty.
But we'll let her down and...
Yeah, let's let her down. Like I said, I know you said it's running. I haven't heard it yet. I want to hear it run. If I had my shop settled and I knew 2.0 was staying, that car would probably just sit in there so I could look at it. Wow, that looks good, Lyle. And basically that car cannot go sit out in the rain. It can't sit out in the dust. And it needs to be in a nice, warm, heated shop. Right now, I can't give that to it. That car deserves better than what I can give it. See, I'm not even gonna touch it. Step away from the car, Mike. Just
Back
6, 8
away
feet,
from
that's
the car.
Wow, that is a load of pink. Chrysler had the impact colors. They had Panther Pink, they had Sublime Green, they had Curious Yellow, they had Go Mango, and it's like I said, it's one of the top 2 or 3 cars ever built, and that's one of the rarest just because of the color. Oh, look at that. One thing I never have on my car is antenna. Oh, the dash and everything's in.
Yeah. Dash is in.
Upholstery. Wow. If you're doing a resto mod, you can just put parts on, bolt it together, aftermarket. When you're bringing it back to the way they built it in 1970, that's where the ATD comes in, the attention to detail. Look at the door panels. I mean, everything on these cars was just, there's a reason this is one of the most iconic muscle cars ever made.
Yeah.
Right? It just, everything was just done right to the ninth degree. Look at the spring holding the jack down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I tried to get it as close as what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, basically,
All the decals.
you'd have been walking into a showroom in 1970, and this thing would be sitting there looking just like this.
Yeah.
Except the price tag would have been about $5,000.
Yeah.
About what we paid for the rubber kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were probably close to $6,000, I would think.
Yeah.
These ones, probably
Yeah.
high
Oh, yeah,
fives.
probably a factory air.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, every time you touch it, you gotta clean it. That's why I will never own a car like this. As soon as you touch it, you have to wipe it. I mean, you're talking a piece of art. And artwork, I don't care what it is, does not look good with smudgy fingerprints all over it.
And the AC.
Yep.
AC decal. Scat pack.
We gotta do a big shout out to those guys at Classic Industries.
Yeah. They supplied a
Big
lot of
shout
parts.
out to Gabe and all those guys at Classic Industries. Without them, we could have never built this car.
Yeah.
So big shout out to Classic Industries. You got Mopars and more money than brains. You talk to those guys.
Yeah. They got everything. All the decals,
Yeah.
all the new weather stripping.
Everything. All the little tidbits,
Yeah. Carpet, floor mats.
lights, just you name it. You just look through their catalog and start spending money like it was water.
Yeah. Make a list and send Mike the bill.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And hurry up. We need it yesterday. Who'd put a scoop on a door, eh?
Yeah.
Only Dodge. Look at that. The AC was a nightmare.
Yeah.
He was down at my place, 3 times taking parts?
And I got to go back there again because this is the wrong condenser because of this one fitting. It doesn't line up. So I got to get the old one and redo it and put it back in. So it's just, this is supposed to be a 90 degree right here
Oh,
for that to fit on. That's it. And then Todd was going to come down from Edmonton, the guy that did the
right,
transmission.
charge it up, yeah.
Yeah, charge it up. So, but yeah, no, original 440.
numbers match. AC, tinted glass.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hideaway headlights, which is, I guess, all the 70
Yep.
Chargers.
Yep.
But all the original fender tags.
Flash her up. Let's hear it run.
Alrighty.
See how smooth it is. This is going to be the first time I've heard this engine run. I mean, it's a stock 440, should be somewhere around 360, 370 horse. The RTs were not the wildest or the fastest cars, but they were pristine. I mean, it was a luxury muscle car. You were looking at the top of the heap. It sounds great, sounds amazing. Lyle's a little disappointed. He thinks it should sound louder. But I mean, the factory back in the day, they were trying to sell these cars to women. They were trying to sell them to businessmen, doctors, and lawyers. The last thing they wanted to hear is bugga, bugga, bugga. But that's what Lyle wants to hear. Cool. Okay, well, shut her off before you gas us. Well, we die with smiles on our faces anyway, Lyle. Wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, oh, it's a beautiful thing, Lyle.
Yeah, they're pieces of art.
Yes, that's what they are. Once you get them to this, they're automotive art.
Yeah.
You put them in your gallery and you look at them, and then you get all drunk and you put a dent in them. Or your friends slobber and drool and chip them with a beer bottle.
Why don't you want to keep it for yourself?
Because 1, I have too much money invested into it. 2, it's a piece of art, it's not a car. I like to take my cars and drive them down a gravel road, and this is not the one for it. And 3, the money I've got invested in this would build my pro touring one.
Yeah.
That
is another pink.
That is another pink car. It would look just like this, except pure pink, white upholstery. And because it's not a numbers match in RT 440, it doesn't have the same value.
Right.
Right.
So you can do whatever you want to.
I can do whatever I want. It's not going to detract from the value. This one, basically, if somebody else wants to spend the money and pull out that original motor and drop a Hemi in or do whatever they want, they can. But to me, it's just, this is the biggest investment automotive in my life.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping I can recoup it and move it on, but it was cool bringing it back. You saw the pictures of when my buddy started the metal work.
Yeah.
There
It
was
was
nothing.
just rusted right out
Yes.
and cut it right apart. And
Cut it right apart, and that started the process, and that was 10, 12 years ago. So I mean, basically this is a 12, 13-year process to get this car to this stage. So what's left?
I'm working on the headlights.
Headlights?
The headlights are not turning on, so there's a relay underneath the dash I'm working on.
And then the condenser.
Yeah, the condenser and the hood insulation pad.
Yeah.
I had Blair come down and touch up all the paint on from
Yeah.
the hinges and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's done, so not much.
Wow,
Take
cool.
it for a drive.
You take it for a drive, I'm not even sitting in it.
You got to sit in it once.
I'm too dirty.
Oh, it'll clean. Yeah, he was pretty nervous. I don't think he'll ever drive it, but I know I will.
You did a nice job on the console.
Though that's original.
Is it?
Those are some of the original parts I dug out of your sea can.
No shit.
Yeah, I took them out and then I repainted all the black
Yeah.
trim on the side. But that is an original because you can tell how the wood grain matches from piece to piece.
That's right, yes. I remember when we found this steering wheel. It was like a holy grail. It was perfect, wrapped up in a bag.
Yeah,
You
there was little parts missing and stuff like that. A neighbor down the road, Daryl,
Yeah.
he had a whole bunch of parts, so I had to go over there just to get everything working.
Next steps for this car, the beauty rings, the condenser, we got to get the fitting straightened out. That's the problem. You're trying to bring something back new that's 55 years old. A lot of stuff you can't. They don't repop. You've got to find it. You've got to hunt for it. You've got to refurbish it. You've got to bring it back to new. Done an amazing job, man. Like it's like flashing back 55 years, open the hood, and there it is. Look at the interior. There it is, man. Like
It just, you start working on them and you just want to do another day.
Yeah,
And just
I
like,
know.
I keep telling the wife, we got to get back down to the lake and go on holidays. Just like, I got 2 more days. I can get 2 more days on it.
yeah.
It'll be sad to see it go down the road, but hopefully somebody down there is, whoever picks it up or buys it, appreciates it and puts it in a nice museum or something like that for other people to enjoy. And hopefully we'll never ever see these cars get back to the stage that they were when we find them. It's so rewarding when it's done like this.
Well, especially when you started with basically nothing.
Yeah, it was
Right,
just
I
a
mean,
shell.
40-foot sea can full of parts, boxes, and guys showing up with back of their pickup trucks filled with stuff, and then it's like doing a puzzle backwards. The person that ends up with this car has to have 3 things going for him: more money than brains, love cars, and has a nice place to put it. Otherwise, I don't think anybody would buy it without meeting those 3 criteria. Again, I cannot thank you enough, Lyle. You've done an amazing job.